A second time DUI or second offense DUI in California is when you have one prior DUI or wet reckless conviction within the last 10 years. And that usually includes out-of-state convictions. Now, unfortunately, if you're convicted of second time DUI, the penalties start to increase exponentially. And really, on a second time DUI, there's 5 sorts of penalties that you can expect if you're convicted.
The first penalty you can expect for a second-time DUI conviction in California is probation. Probation ranges from a minimum of 3 years to 5 years maximum. This is a summary type of probation. You don't have a probation officer we have to check in with. It simply means that you have to obey our laws and comply with the judge's DUI terms of probation. Otherwise, the judge has discretion to impose a jail sentence.
The second penalty stemming from second-time DUI conviction in California is a fine. And it's usually about $2,000 after all the court costs are factored in. Now, that can vary a little bit from county to county, but it's usually around $2,000. The judge will normally give you time to pay it off if you need to have that. And in some counties, you can actually convert the fine to community service or even jail time in lieu of paying the actual money.
The third penalty is a DUI school. Unlike on a first-time DUI, where the DUI school is 90 days, on a second-time DUI, it's much longer, 18 months, where you have to go once a week for a year and a half.
The fourth consequence that stems from a second-time DUI conviction in California is the license suspension. Now, it's a 2-year license suspension. However, in most cases, you're entitled to get a restricted license after 90 days, after serving the first 3 months of the suspension, if you've installed an ignition interlock device in your car. However, if you refuse to take the blood or breath test, then there's no opportunity to get a restricted license.
The fifth penalty is jail time. It's mandatory under California state law on a second-time DUI that you serve a minimum of 4 days. However, in some jurisdictions, it's policy that you serve 30, 45, or even 60 days jail.
For a lot of people, the idea of serving jail time is the most terrifying part of a DUI conviction. The good news is that even if you are required to serve jail time, often there's an opportunity to do what we call a jail alternative. And these include work release, sometimes community service, sometimes electronic monitoring or house arrest. But quite often it's possible to structure a resolution so that you don't actually have to see the inside of a jail.
Many times when we have a second-time DUI, we can get the charge reduced to something better, like a reckless driving, where none of the mandatory second-time penalties apply.
Here at Schaus Law Group, we've had a great record of success over the years in getting second-time DUI charges reduced and even dismissed. If you're in this situation, facing second-time DUI in California, we urge you to call us, tell us your story. Let's see what we can do for you.